Hello, friends, and welcome to this episode of the Make Happiness Happen podcast. I'm your host, Shelly, and today we're going to talk about creating your power playlist. Now, I know it sounds like it's straight from the 80s, which, really were the best of times if you ask me. But trust me, you are not going to want to miss this tip. So stay tuned and listen in. Hi, I'm Shelly Covert, and I have a question for you. Are you tired of putting on a fake smile and pretending you're happy when you're really not? Are you ready to stop chasing happiness and create it instead? This world we live in makes us believe we need something newer or bigger or better to be happy. But guess what? That's not real happiness. I'm going to teach you what I've learned about creating real, authentic happiness. So if you're ready to stop faking it and be happy for real, you're in the right place. This is the Make Happiness Happen podcast. Okay, so I know you're probably wondering, what the heck is a power playlist? Okay, well, let's think about it this way. A playlist, is a list of songs. It could be videos, movies, things like that. But today we're going to talk about songs. And the reason I want to think about songs is because music, at least for a lot of us, I think plays a big part in our lives. I don't know about you, but when I was dating or when we, get married or, something like that, you'd always have your song, right? And so when I was in high school, based on the relationship I was in, I had to have our song. And then at the school dances, we'd dance to that, right? So to me, music plays a really big part in our lives. It can be tied to memories from when we were younger. There are some new songs that come out and I literally feel like they've been written just for me, right? Because they just speak to me at the time of life that I'm in or what I'm dealing with. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Okay, so I want you to be thinking about what is a song right now. If you had to pick one song that you would call your song, or one song that you've played on repeat, or you listen to, or when you hear it come on the radio, or on your Spotify or Amazon Music, or however you listen to your music, Apple Music, any of those ways. What is a song that just really kind of speaks to you? Now, I know a lot of people like to go to concerts and things like that, and so maybe think back to a recent concert you were at and just think about the songs. I want you to think about the music because the music does play a big part, but I also want you to really think about the words, okay? Because if we listen to the words of the songs, I think that's where there's even more power. So it's that combination of the words and the music. Okay, so there's this song right now that is played on, I listen to one of the Christian radio stations because I really love worship music. It's just always very uplifting. It always has a positive message. And I have decided right now as I'm trying to grow this business and grow this community with all of you and help you create this authentic happiness in your life, I need to be sure that I stay uplifted as well, right? Sometimes it can get kind of heavy and life can just kind of bring us down. And so I'm doing everything that I can to stay in this positive mindset as well. And so for me, that has been focusing on worship music. And that's not all I listen to, but right now that's really what I focus on the most. So there is this song and it's called These Days. It's by Jeremy Camp. And you can find it on YouTube. It's totally worth it. But in that, there is a line that says, maybe we were made for these days. Okay, and I just want to read you the first verse and the chorus line to this song because it just, I don't know, it's so cool. And so it says, these days, my heart is always on the run. These days, the world's spinning out of control. These days are fast and they're furious. Feels like the worst is ahead of us. Sometimes it's hard to feel at home, but I believe that you and I are in the right place at the right time. God called us by name, and He doesn't make mistakes. I know we were born to shine bright in a dark world that needed some light. Don't have to be afraid. Maybe we were made for these days. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps just as I read that. That is like my power song right now because I have said all along that I started this podcast because I felt called to do this. And this is a way that it helps me so much to be able to talk through all of this. And I really do pray every day that this helps someone out there listening that is going through some of the things that I went through, and they can see how I've come out the other side and how I've made it through the challenges, and that gives them the hope and the comfort knowing that maybe they can make it through as well. Okay. And so these songs, this is my power song because it reminds me that, yeah, even though things seem kind of dark and scary and negative right now, just in general, I feel like our world is a little more negative than it has been before. I feel like there's more challenging times and challenging things than there have been in the past. And sometimes I wonder, like, why am I here right now? Well, you know what? Maybe I was made for these days. Maybe I'm here to shine a bright light in a dark world, right? To shine bright in this dark world. So that is my current power song. Okay. And that is a song that anytime I hear it on the radio, it just really like uplifts me. It makes me smile. It makes me feel strong. It's this good reminder that, hey, I can do this, right? And that's what I want to challenge you to find, a song for that. Now, I do think also there are different times in our lives where we're going to have different power songs, right? And that's why we're making a power playlist, because it's not just one song for all the time. So think back to different events or different moments in your life and see if you can remember if there were songs that helped you through those times. And now, as we make this playlist, I challenge you to find songs that inspire you, that remind you of your strengths, songs that are going to give you confidence, that they help you remember you can work through and fight through the tough times in life. Okay, those are the kind of songs we're looking for. Okay, they need to be positive and uplifting. I don't want these to be songs that remind you of times you failed in life or things that were terrible or whatever. Maybe they can bring you back to those memories, but what it should do is bring on feelings of, hey, I made it through. I'm better where I am now, or I grew from that situation, or I can look back now and see why that happened. I was able to persevere and push through. Okay, so when you're looking for your power playlist songs, that's what you want to look for. So here's an example. When I was going through my divorce, that was a very rough time for me. I felt lost and alone and broken. I felt unlovable, unworthy. My daughter was 4 at the time. I didn't even really feel like I could be her mom. I'm like, how, I don't know. I didn't even feel like, I didn't feel successful. That's not the right word, but I don't know quite how to explain it. But I just felt, I don't know. I felt like I lost all my confidence. I lost all my self-worth, all of those things. And so there was a song, it's called Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts. You can also find this one on YouTube. And this was a song that was on repeat when I was going through my divorce. And I want to read the words to you on this one also. And so it says, I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two, wiped my brow, and kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. Every long-lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road that led me straight to you. Now, for me, this song kind of has two meanings. And so the first meaning is that as I was going through that time in my life, I hit rock bottom. And like I said, I lost all my confidence. I lost any feelings of value, worthiness, any of that. And that was the time when I gave my life back to the Lord. And I remember vividly falling on my knees by the side of my bed one night saying, I have tried to do this my way and I have totally messed everything up. And so, Lord, I give you my life and it's in your hands now and I will do what you ask of me. And so for me, that line about pointing me on my way into your loving arms, this broken road led me straight to you, it led me back to my faith. And so that's a reminder from that song. And it also is a reminder that, I've been married for 15 years now to my current husband. And that this song, like, he's my true love as well. And so it led me to him as well. Like, I grew and I changed through that situation, and I feel like it has made me a better partner and a better wife in my current marriage. So it kind of has two meanings for me, which is really, really cool. And so you can think about songs that were important to you during those challenging times in your life, but I want you to make sure that they're songs that help remind you of your strength and your courage and your perseverance and all those things. And then the last song of my power playlist that I'm going to share with you is called You Say by Lauren Daigle. And you can once again find this one on YouTube. And so this song, I'm just going to read the verses to you, a couple of verses. And so it starts out, I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. So that line right there really speaks a lot to me as I'm trying to grow this business and become an entrepreneur and, reach out to people and help people, because the voices in my head keep saying, what are you trying to do? You can't do this. What makes you think that you can help other people? I think for a lot of us, we see a lot of things on social media and we see what we think is real life. But I think a lot of what we see on social media, we're just seeing the best parts, the highlights of other people's lives. And so a lot of times I think that can make us feel like we don't measure up. And I think about the young kids growing up these days and how much more challenging it is to feel like you measure up, and so I love that line in that song. Now, the second line, it says, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe what you say of me. I believe. And so, once again, these are worship songs, yes, but that does remind me that even when I don't feel like I measure up, or when the voices in my head are trying to get me to stop and just telling me that not a chance, I have to remember whose I am and who created me and who loves me. And that's what that song helps me do. So those are 3 of my Power Playlist songs. Now, I would like you to spend some time thinking about your Power Playlist songs. And so I'm going to invite you to join our online community. I have a Facebook group, and we just changed the name. It's called the Happiness Vibe Tribe. And I'm going to put the link in the show notes here, or you can search on Facebook for the Happiness Vibe Tribe. And I invite you to join us, because in that group, we're going to spend some time building our Power Playlist. And I'm going to ask people to share their songs so that we can all get like a big list, or like a bank of all these songs. We'll share like the links to the YouTube videos and things like that. So when we need a song, or if you're looking for a song or something to help you through, you will be able to look through that repository there. And we can kind of come together and help each other and share some songs that maybe we didn't know, so that when we're going through those challenging times in life, we can turn on our Power Playlist, and that will help to uplift us and motivate us and just help us feel better. So, all right. So I invite you to join the Happiness Vibe Tribe on Facebook. It's our private community. If you have any questions or can't find that, you can email me at Shelly@makehappinesshappen.com, and I will send you the link. And until next time, my friends, I ask you to choose to be authentically happy. As always, thank you so much for tuning into the Make Happiness Happen podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts. And even better, leave a positive review. If you want to dive deeper into the topics and discussions we have here, I would encourage you to head over to makehappinesshappen.com and sign up for my newsletter. It's the best way for us to get to know each other even better. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time on the Make Happiness Happen podcast.